Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Reality Is, where words do come to life. My name is Renee.
And I'm Linda.
And so, as you all know, I've always said for the last couple of weeks that anytime I got an update as it relates to anything that's happening in any prison across the United States and even in Cook County jail, that I was going to always come back with an update. And so here's a situation that came up. So inmates who are in the Cook County facility or across other prisons across the United States, if they have cancer or if it's something that's a life-altering sickness and they've been given limited time, even though they are incarcerated, that when judge to get a bond, they are not able to get a bond to go home to expire with their relatives. So what is your thought process on that?
Well, to me, that's inhuman. Okay, first of all, because in human rights, we all have a right, to transpire in a method that's acceptable for us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if an individual has an illness and this illness is life ending, okay, what could they do at home but be at peace, at rest? And with the way things are going now, everything is being labeled COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in a facility and you die in the facility, how does that help the family with your burial or your remains? That's a question as well.
It is, and it's something that needs to be considered. And again, we're going back to black and brown individuals. It only happened to our people.
That's right.
It doesn't happen to the white folks. It just happened to us. And as of late, as I stated in one of the other videos, number 45 went through a list and released a whole bunch of individuals.
How many were black?
None was black. Not one was black. But here's the thing. Yesterday, last week when they rioted at the Capitol, right? Mm-hmm. So they've been arresting individuals that was at the Capitol. And one of the individuals' mother asked the son, the judge for the son that was arrested, he is a vegan. And they asked to adjust his diet. And the judge granted adjusting his diet.
Well, what color was he?
He's white.
Okay, of course.
But that's not right. And we're talking about transparency, and we're talking about fairness, we're talking about being honest, and we're talking about creating a judicial system that's justice for all and not just us who get the short end of the stick. Then he should not be allowed to get an adjustable diet. Anybody else, a diabetic that go inside those walls, they need a diabetic diet.
But they just give them insulin.
But they need a diabetic diet.
They just give them insulin.
And I understand that. So when you create a situation when you create adjustments for one, you need to do it for all.
Oh, that's true.
That's fair. And this is where we have the problem when it comes down to our judicial system, that they don't do what is fair. And again, our elected officials get on here and they run their resumes over and over again about they understand the issues, they understand the problems, they understand the racism, but then again we see it constantly being played out in front of our very eyes.
Constantly repeat. Exactly.
And it's not just the public defenders, not just the state's attorney. This is mostly falling on the judges.
Yes. I had an incident with the judge, and he took 5 statements over my one statement that I made.
Mm-hmm.
Now, those 5 statements were made from former inmates,
Mm-hmm.
drug addicts that stated on the witness stand
Mm-hmm.
that they, were indulging. And he told me when it came down to the testimony, to speak on behalf, that every mother will defend their child. But now my question to that judge is, how do you defend taking 20 years from a person's life and just walk away? You just walk away.
Yeah, but let's go back to one part that you just said. Every mother does not defend the child in their wrongdoing.
Right.
And we've seen as of late, a lot of mothers have turned their own children in
That's
to
right.
the law.
That's right.
For things they have done. So for you as a judge to make a statement that you can validate to be true, that questions your oath of office, and that questions a judge.
Now, the sad part about it, 20 years later, they found out. Once this is unveiled, I was right.
Well,
I was not lying. But how do you give that person that 20 years back?
You can't give
How
nobody.
Can I get my 20 years back?
You can't give back life or time once it's been stolen.
That's it. That's it.
You can't give it back once it's been stolen.
But you know what's sad is, even down to the lockups, there was a time where they say they can only hold you for 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in 18 months, they have to completed everything to do with the trial. Now, I remember this because I remember as a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
this going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they can hold you for 17 years in the county jail, waiting on your trial to come.
Yeah.
Where's the fairness in that? What happens to the family that's struggling, that's missing your presence in the family? Okay, where's the what am I asking for? Where's the understanding to this? I mean, how can you explain this to a child that you're suffering because we're holding your parent, but we haven't found your parent either guilty or innocent?
That's true.
But they're exposing that parent to the absenteeism, the other parent to the absenteeism of that parent being with them.
And they're also leaving that parent the responsibility of trying to make excuses or create a lie for the children.
Mm-hmm.
And in the long run, hoping that the parent would be released, but in the long run, it end up being on and on and on, and that parent can only be away for so long with the lie that you're telling before you eventually have to break down and tell that child the truth. Now, when you break down and tell that child the truth about really where the parent was, now that child potentially can look at you
and say you're a liar.
Yeah, in a different light, and say that you are a liar. Why don't you just tell me the truth up front? So you put it between a rock and a hard place. Yeah. And it's the system that's forcing you to be in that position.
Yes, it is.
All right, well, we're going to continue some conversations, but we're going to stop this one, and then we will be back with another episode. So leave your comments, leave your questions, make sure you subscribe, and hit that button for the notification bell so you can know when other videos are being uploaded. We'll talk to you soon. Well, that completes another episode of Reality Is, where words do come to life. I hope that you have enjoyed the conversation that we talked about. Please leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you too can know when I upload other videos. Thank you for tuning into my channel. Until we talk again.